poet Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "The glory of friendship is not just the outstretched hand, not the kindly smile, nor the joy of companionship. It is the spiritual inspiration that comes to one when you discover that someone else believes in you and is willing to trust you with a friendship. I, Wyatt Sloniger, stand before you on this very special day as not only your classmate, but also your friend." When I first came to RCS at the beginning of 9th grade, I was filled with a potent concoction of nervousness and terror. This was not my first experience starting fresh at a new school. I had already been in 2 school districts before RCS. Because of this, the difficulties and fears of trying to fit in were overwhelmingly present in my mind. I was going to have to make brand new friends, build new relationships with teachers, and adapt to a whole new culture based upon faith. To be completely honest, I had absolutely no idea how I planned to accomplish any of these things. My personality was characterized by being overweight, mildly depressed, and generally low on self-confidence. Essentially, I was just hoping that things would work out in my favor and help me find some sort of peace in a chaotic time of my life. On my first day of school at RCS, I remember walking into the part of the cafeteria sectioned off for the 9th grade. As I approached the table with all of my brand new classmates, one of them hopped up out of his seat and asked me, "Are you new here?" "Yes," I softly responded. Almost immediately, he reached out his hand and said, "I'm Jameson. What's your name?" I was shocked. I know it really doesn't sound like much, but never had anyone sought me out to greet me in the way that he did. In hindsight, this minuscule encounter was a sign of things to come. Throughout the rest of the day, so many of my new classmates and teachers took the short time out of their day just to make me feel welcomed. However, while many of the interactions that I encountered throughout my first day seemed hopeful, I was still not fully convinced. As I stand here right now, I cannot even begin to explain how wrong I was. By the beginning of my sophomore year, I found myself constantly being invited to hang out and have fun with all of my new classmates. I was even invited to build my faith like I had never seen before. I was finally beginning to feel like I belonged, both socially and spiritually. I began making true, loving friendships with so many people who wanted to share their faith and their friendship with me. And I can proudly say that almost all of these friendships stand strong today. These friends did not only desire to just spend time with me and have fun, but they also pushed me and encouraged me to better myself. Most of you are aware that I used to be very overweight. However, as you all can see, I am no longer the meme that was Fat Wyatt. Many of you all have told me how incredible my transformation was and how I should be so proud of myself. However, I'm not quite sure any of you fully realize how massive of a role all of you played in my transformation. Not even just in my weight loss transformation, but in my whole transformation as a human being. You all provided me the kind of support and love that I thought was only found in movies or TV shows. I will never ever in my entire life be able to repay the debt that I owe to this class. You supported me when many others did not. You loved me when many others did not. And most importantly, you believed in me even when I did not believe in myself. You all have been the most influential part in me becoming the person that I am proud to say that I am today. I'm going to be very honest with you all. I really don't like being recognized for anything I have achieved, because the recognition is simply incorrect. I have not achieved a single thing since I have become a part of the most loving and simply amazing family that is the Resurrection Catholic High School class of 2020. I haven't achieved anything because we have achieved everything. I do not have the words to explain how much gratitude I have for each and every single one of you all. There will never ever be a class as amazing as the class of 2020. I am also grateful to our God for allowing my path to bring me to RCS. God knew what I needed, even if I was not sure. To finish things off, I just want to say one simple thing. I love you all more than you all will ever be able to understand. Thank you for believing in me and trusting me with your friendship. It is a gift that I will always cherish. Four years ago, he took the time to make me feel welcomed here at Resurrection. Now I have the honor to return the favor by welcoming our valedictorian, Jameson Cook.
It truly is an honor being able to stand here before you all today as the class of 2020 Valedictorian. It didn't come by accident, and it definitely wasn't handed to me. There were so many people who taught me, invested in me, and motivated me to become the person standing before you here today. I want to thank my wonderful parents. My mom has always encouraged me to use all of my God-given talents to further God's kingdom. My father has always encouraged me to have a daily relationship with the Lord, making certain that I follow His will for my life. One of the greatest leadership qualities that they have both taught me and exemplified is that a true leader is one who understands that he is a servant to those whom they may lead. They have raised me with the strong Christian morals that I have today. Without the two of them working together in my life, I would not be who I am here today. I want to thank my sister. You truly inspire me with everything you've accomplished at such a young age. I want to thank my grandparents and my many other family members. I want to thank those who strengthened me and invested their time into me. I want to thank all of my teachers, the RCS staff, and members of our RCS family. I especially want to thank my friends and each and every one of you. Thank you all. Today is the day we have been anticipating for as long as we can remember. Today marks the end of our high school careers, and it is so bittersweet. Life is full of expectations and assumptions, but as we all know, life tends to throw a curveball right as we let our guard down. None of us could have ever dreamed that on that Friday of March 13th, when we begged for the dismissal bell to ring so that we can enjoy our weekend, that we would never return to finish our senior year. Unfortunately, that's life, and we were forced to mature much quicker than we had thought. But don't let the trials that come knock you off the glorious future that awaits you. You don't control every aspect of life, whether we want to or not. It's humbling knowing that we are only 1 in 7.5 billion. But don't let that number scare you. It only takes one spark to start a flame, one light to eradicate the darkness, and only one truth to tear down all the lies. As I said before, you're only 1 in 7.5 billion. So it is up to you whether you want to stand out or not. Do you want to be a leader or a follower? A participant or a champion? Where do you want to stand? It's up to you. Your past is set, but your future isn't. Use what you've been given, your talents, your relationships, and your resources to accomplish that dream you are so capable of doing. Sometimes it is very easy to simply feel like 1 in 7.5 billion, but God uses you and me. Almost all of the famous people in the Bible came from nothing special. He used Noah, who stayed faithful to him in a sinful world when Noah felt as if he never belonged. He used Moses, who was a young slave child drifting in a basket in the river. He used David, the youngest of 8 brothers, who was just a simple shepherd. And he used Mary, who was just a young teen, birthed our Savior. Wow. Just sit back a minute and think about that. You have the capability to change the world. But it all starts with one decision. Jesus has to be the center of your life. And it is said that life begins once Jesus becomes the reason you live it. Over the course of my life, my definition of success has changed. I've had many opportunities to be involved with many clubs, organizations, and sports. I've been able to surround myself with amazing people who have invested so much into me. I've been able to serve, lead, and learn. God has blessed me in more ways than I can count. But the words of Billy Graham will always stick with me. Our job in life is not to be successful, but to be faithful. Though I've had many successes, honors, and awards, I define success as following God's will for my life. He is the reason I am here. He is my creator, my father, my inspiration, my savior, and so much more. He deserves all the glory because of who he is. And I know that Mississippi College is the next chapter of my life that he's already beginning to write. I pray that he uses me in many incredible ways as he already has. And I also pray for you. I pray that you allow him to take control of your life and use you in so many incredible ways. Your life is a gift, a prize from God. He granted you the ability to live, and we forget that much too often. We become focused on such temporary things like how many likes we have on Instagram, our relationships, or how we can get better at that one hobby. And those are all great. They're more gifts God has given us to enjoy life, but the second that we put them before Him, they become our idols. The road to salvation isn't easy, and I'm never going to say that it is, but it is the most rewarding. As we go off our separate ways with our new diplomas, and remember our amazing years at this great institution, how do we want others to remember the class of 2020? We are all about to start the newest chapter of our lives, whether it be the military, the workforce, or higher education. It is up to us to leave a legacy for our underclassmen, and a legacy for our future generations. Let's show the world who the class of 2020 really is. Our time is coming when our generation will be the stewards of the earth. So what will we do with it? Will we leave it to ruin? Will we just simply manage it? Or will we fix its problems and leave it in a better condition than we found it? It's day one of the rest of your life. You and I can change this world. Choose the right paths and leave the legacy you want others to remember you by. So don't wait. Let's start today. The sooner, the better. God's mercy and love is a prize that we do not deserve, but it is what will make us unstoppable warriors for Christ. The gift of salvation can be yours today, and if it already is, then share it. We've worked so hard to be where we are here today, so don't stop now. Our time is a gift, and our future is unwritten. So where will you stand when you look back at this moment here today? I hope it's everything you could have ever imagined. Let God be the focus of your life, and let His will be the motivation that keeps your head high. His love is the prize. So in the words of our beloved Father Mike Kelleher, who wants the prize? Go Eagles.